I and many other colleagues I work with feel that now we need to speak up to ensure the quality of services are ensured for these vulnerable people. As part of the process of outsourcing was consultations with service users and their family, which showed that in the transfer they wanted a continuity of service with the retention of current, experienced and knowledgeable staff. The Dimensions letter of intent stated that they intended to make an economical, technical, organisational case to allow them to overturn 2P protections. Unison asked 2 months ago for the ETO reasons. Dimensions have still not provided any evidence of a financial reason. My questions I want to put to the Cabinet is, how can the Cabinet justify its proposal to hand over the LD services to Dimensions when they have announced cuts and possible closures specifically in order to reduce costs? Does the Cabinet believe ending up with one bidder for the learning disabilities contract shows there is too little capacity in the provider market for social enterprise run learning disability provision? With less than 2 months to the transfer, staff believe that not enough time has been given through consultation to ensure that quality of service will be retained, which was clearly evident and requested it from families who have vulnerable people currently receiving our quality service. Therefore, how can the Council go against the wishes of the people of their constituency? Closer thought, if Somerset County Council learned anything, back office staff in Somerset were outsourced to South West 1. The stage is set for another disaster, except this time it's not back office staff or systems, but vulnerable service users. And yes, in fact, the people of Somerset. Because of all this, the process needs to be paused for the vulnerable people of Somerset to be protected as best you see fit.
Ewa Marcinkowska. My first question is, in consultation since 2014, the Council has emphasised the need for the learning disability service to be transferred on the basis of care quality. And a paper about the future commissioning of services stated there are no savings targets associated with this decision. How can the Cabinet justify its proposal to hand over the LD service to Dimensions when they have announced cuts and possible closures, specifically in order to reduce costs? And second question, could the Cabinet explain which of the cuts to staffing, terms and conditions and day centre provision outlined in Dimensions additional measures letter it believes are conducive to its stated aims for the transfer of learning disability services, namely sustainable and high quality services. And as outcome of this, we ask you to pause the outsourcing of on the 1st of April to commence meaningful consultations with the unions. And can I just add from myself, I'm from Poland originally, and I've been very proud working for Somerset County Council for over 7 years, and the high quality of services for learning disabilities is just incredible. And I would like to see it and be part of this going forward.
Question number 10, Jenny Winchester.
When the decision was made by Council on the 11th of July 2016 to award the LDPS contract to the remaining bidder, Dimensions, there was a recommendation that any profit made by the SEV would be kept in Somerset. Can the Council confirm that this recommendation is to be implemented? If this is not the case, can Council justify to the Somerset taxpayer that any profit made by the SEV could potentially be used by the Dimensions Group to benefit a non-profitable part of their organisation? In an interview on the 10th of February, the Councillor Wallace stated that no frontline staff would be affected by the transfer of the Learning Disability Service to Dimensions. Can you explain how this can be true when Dimensions have stated in their further measures letters that they predict redundancies, cuts to salaries and to terms and conditions? Turnover rates in the LDPS are about 17% per year. Service users and their supporters have repeatedly stated they value continuity of care. What evidence does the Cabinet have that planned cuts to terms and conditions will not increase the turnover rate further, hitting quality of care. I'm now going to hand over to my colleague Jeanette.
Thank you. Background provided for the transfer of the LDS service to Dimensions did not suggest that large-scale restructuring and changes to terms and conditions would be necessary. Does the Cabinet agree that the proposed transfer date of the 1st of April does not provide sufficient time for the legal consultation requirements and opens Somerset County Council to risk from legal challenge? Dimensions proposed to cut sick pay to the legal minimum in the LDS service, meaning staff will be more likely to attend work while sick, as they would rather otherwise not receive pay for the first 3 days of illness. Would the Cabinet member want a vulnerable person they knew to be looked after by a sick member of staff, and why do they think this is acceptable for others? Can the Cabinet point to successful and unsuccessful examples of outsourcing of a learning disability service elsewhere, and explain how they have learned lessons from these for their attempt to give Somerset's service to Dimensions? And lastly, please can you pause the outsourcing on the 1st of April to commence meaningful consultation with the unions?